This is the big revelation that we were waiting for from the congressional hearings. Biden's $10 million bribe file released. Burisma chief said he was coerced to pay Joe Stupid Hunter in bombshell allegations. Well, they're not so much allegations as actual documentation that the FBI, in all of their infinite wisdom, you remember, they've had an open investigation into Hunter Biden's laptop since 2019. Spoiler, they had all of these documents at their disposal and they did nothing. Not shocking at all whatsoever, really. A bombshell FBI informant file describing a $10 million bribery allegation against President Biden and his son Hunter was released Thursday by Senator Chuck Grassley. So yeah, FBI informant file. FBI had all the stuff, man. They've had it for years at this point in time, showing that a Ukrainian oligarch, oh wait, Ukraine's involved in this? Oh, now see, it all starts to make sense, huh? Claimed that he was coerced into making the payoff. Mykola Zlochevsky, whatever, man. I don't know, pierogies and kubasa. The owner of the natural gas company Burisma Holdings. Oh, y'all remember them? That's the place where they get all of their energy advice from Hunter Biden. He's on the advisory panel. Told the FBI informant in 2016, while meeting him in a coffee shop in Vienna, Austria, that it cost, Austria, that it cost $5 million to pay one Biden and $5 million for another Biden. Oh, which could you be talking about? Maybe that's just James Biden. It's the different one. Don't worry. He paid it to Beau Biden's charity. That's what happened, according to a redacted FD 1023 form. Zlochevsky made the same comment that although Hunter Biden was stupid, he's stupid, and that Zlochevsky's dog was smarter. Well, fair enough. Zlochevsky, I'm just going to go with Big Z going forward. Needed to keep Hunter Biden on Burisma's board so everything will be okay. The June 2020 document says June 2020. And they did nothing before the fucking election. Jesus. The source asked whether Hunter or Joe told Z he should retain the younger Biden. Z allegedly replied, "They both did, comrade." The federal informant, a Ukrainian American who has been a trusted, highly credible FBI source for over a decade, has been paid six figures, according to Grassley. Described four conversations with Z, beginning in the meeting near Kiev in late 2015 or early 2016 and continuing through a 2019 phone call. The informant said each of the conversations with Z occurred in the presence of a man named Alexander Otsapenko, giving the FBI a possible supporting witness. I was going to go with O and Z, okay? Well, I'm a quarter Ukrainian. I'm not pronouncing all this weird shit, okay? Fuck off. It's a country that's on the losing end of a war. What can I say? The information that Z and works with some of the office administrations of Ukrainian President Zelensky. Imagine that, how it all comes full circle. Z allegedly claims to have 17 recordings of conversations with the Bidens. 17 conversations with the Bidens. Two of which involved Joe. Oh, he had no idea what Hunter was doing with his business. Of course not. As well as many text messages and two documents that the informant understood to be financial records of payments to the Bidens. Oh, and again, the FBI had all this information since 2020 and chose to, we don't need to really look at it too hard, but we need to go storm Mar-a-Lago because Trump might have some confidential receipts. Fuck off. According to Z, the recordings and other evidence showed that he somehow coerced into paying the Bidens to ensure Ukraine Prosecutor General Viktor Shokin was fired. Oh, the same thing that Joe stupidly bragged of doing while the vice president on camera in front of everybody at a press conference. Like it wasn't no gotcha on candid camera shit. He bragged about that stupid shit and he was paid off for it. Fantastic stuff. Their final discussion, Z allegedly told the informant over the phone that he had an oracle for a warning against partnering with the Bidens due to political controversies in the United States. Yeah, because if you wanted any Democratic influence, they were kind of, the bumbling tards of that big Democrat cabal, because it was the Clintons, it's the Obamas, Kennedys, and then, if you can't get in with anybody else, just go over to the Bidens. Hopefully you can write your name down so they can properly remember who you are. Z responded he did not send any funds directly to the big guy, which the source understood this was a reference to Joe Biden. Oh, wow, imagine that. So the big guy moniker was well known throughout those circles. The source asked Z how many companies, bank accounts Z controls. Z responded, it would take them, investigators, 10 years to find the records. Well, not that long, just, better part of a half decade. How about that? We'll split the difference, folks. There's the 1034s, reiterating all of that information in a much more dignified and official manner. And as you can see, yes, the FBI header that's on there just goes to show that these are legit documents, by the way. Feel free to read through those at your own leisure. Like I said, Big Z. The big guy reference is significant because the same nickname was used to describe a tentative 10% cut for Biden in 2017. The elder Biden, the very elder Biden. Part of the partnership with Chinese government-linked CFC China Energy. The moniker wasn't publicly known until October of 2020, months after the informant file was created. So yeah, they had connections right there with China and with Ukraine, both saying the big guy, and you couldn't, or you wouldn't. It's not that you couldn't, you wouldn't go forward with an investigation that the entire industry, the entire regime is corrupt. At the Vienna meeting in 2016, Z allegedly described Hunter as a conduit to his father when asked about Shokin's investigation of Burisma. Z replied something to the effect of, "Don't worry, Hunter will take care of all those issues through his dead." The informant did not ask any further questions about what that specifically meant. And then a couple of days later, guess what? Shokin was fired. Big shock on that one. So key quotes in bold. Okay, we'll just read the context on some of these. Late 2015, early 2016, the informant met with Vadim Poharsky, the chief financial officer of Burisma, who bragged about having Hunter Biden on the board. They hired Hunter Biden to protect us through his dad from all kinds of problems. The informant met with Z. Z replied something to the effect of, "Don't worry, Hunter will take care of all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. 5 for Joe, 5 for Hunter, million." Asked whether Hunter or Joe Biden told Z he should retain Hunter Biden. Z replied they both did. Yeah, they were all in on that stuff. Biden had publicly said that he used $1 billion in U.S. loan guarantees to leverage to force Shokin from office, which happened in March of 2016 while he was still the vice president. "Oh, son of a bitch, he got fired," Biden bragged in a 2018 event hosted by the Council on Foreign Relations. You can find that interview. It's still out there. He's on stage. There's a blue background, and he's sitting there, and he's far more cogent and coherent in 2018 as opposed to, the common day gaffe machine that is unironically sitting in the White House. Falling asleep in the White House. Oh, my God. Hunter Biden's employment with Burisma emerged as a major U.S. news story in 2019 when then-President Donald Trump was impeached for pressuring Ukraine to investigate the Bidens. Yeah, imagine that. Made a phone call. Perfect phone call, folks. House Democrats pointed out that although Shokin's office had investigated Burisma, evidence indicated that his firing also was sought by U.S. allies in Europe due to his own corruption. No, it was everybody else. It had nothing to do with the Bidens. Well, here's the receipts. Son of a bitch, you caught us. In addition to the prosecutor's ouster, former White House stenographer Mike McCormick says Joe Biden advocated U.S. support for Ukraine's natural gas industry. During a trip to Kiev just days after Hunter Biden quietly joined Burisma, a natural gas company, in which he describes as a clear conflict of interest. Yeah, no doubt. And what has happened? What was one of the major hallmarks of the current conflict in Ukraine? There was a blowing up of a natural gas pipeline. Yeah, just something that, might faintly remember. That was like in CIA controlled don't have to worry about any of that stuff, right? Okay, White House spokesman Ian Sams said in a statement that congressional Republicans, in their eagerness to go after President Biden, regardless of the truth. Well, here's the truth. You have FBI documents. You have FBI sources corroborating all of this stuff. Days and days of testimony. IRS whistleblowers. More documents on top of this. There's no truth to any of this stuff. Don't believe your lying eyes. Continue to push claims that have been debunked for years. Oh, really? Just like Hunter's laptop is Russian disinformation. Oh, interesting. And that they themselves have cautioned to take with a grain of salt because this could be made up. But it isn't. It really isn't. The claims have reportedly been scrutinized by the Trump Justice Department, a Trump-appointed U.S. attorney, in a full impeachment trial of the former president that centered on these very issues. No, it didn't. It focused on a phone call that you believed was a quid pro quo situation. Stop fucking lying. But this is the Biden administration we're talking about. And over again, they have found to lack credibility. Again, stop listening and just listen to us. We're the White House. We have different information than you. It is clear that congressional Republicans are dead set on playing shameless, dishonest politics. Tell me how many times Biden's been impeached? Oh, okay, cool. And refused to let the truth get in the way. It is well past time for news organizations to hold them to basic levels of factual accountability. Are you, as a White House official, trying to weaponize the media to go after your political opponents? Huh, weird. I thought you guys normally just keep that stuff in-house. Basic levels of factual accountability for their repeatedly, increasingly desperate efforts to mislead both the public and the press. Yeah, with your actual documents, misleading everybody. Interesting. Biden's legal team did not immediately respond to a request for comment because they're too busy trying to put out all the fires that this caused. Biden has tried to laugh off the bribery accusation, saying last month in response to a question from the Post, "Where's the money? I ain't got the money." Oh, nobody's asking about money. It's fine. I gotta go now. I made poopy. House Republicans are investigating references on Hunter Biden's laptop to Burisma opening a Maltese bank in a bank account in 2016. Yeah, well, at the same time that he's choking chicks that look way too trashy to be in such a high-end hotel room, but to each their own, I guess. Z has not publicly commented on the bribery accusation since it surfaced publicly in May of this year. But he has allegedly said in 2019 to Ukraine-born businessman Lev Parnas, a former associate of Trump lawyer Rudy Giuliani, representatives of his company never spoke to Biden. Well, we got some conflicting information here. According to a transcript provided by Parnas to Politico in 2020, Z said no one from Burisma had any contacts with VP Biden or people working with him during Hunter Biden's engagement. Yeah, about that though. In fact, there's evidence that then Vice President Biden met with Burisma employees. He met with his son's partner, Devin Archer, in 2014, at the time that the Hunter Biden and Archer joined the Burisma board, according to the Obama White House visitor logs, engulfed with him later that year. Joe Biden also met with Burisma executive Vadim Poharsky at an April 16, 2015 dinner at the D.C. Cafe Milano. He revealed to the Post's first bombshell report in October of 2020 on the contents of Hunter Biden's abandoned laptop. Well, yeah, of course. Known about this stuff. They've known about it for years, and they did nothing. The FBI was informed members of Congress that the bribery tip was referred to the office of Delaware U.S. Attorney David Weiss for further investigation, though it is unclear what has been done since to determine its accuracy. Nothing. It was probably looked at and went, oh, it's got Biden on it. Nothing we can do with that. Spokesperson for Weiss declined to comment when contacted by the Post Thursday evening. IRS Supervisory Agent Gary Shapley testified for the House Oversight Committee on Wednesday. We talked about that in our most recent video that's up before this, that federal tax agents weren't told of the large alleged bribe amounts during their 5-year investigation of Hunter for tax fraud. Information like this would have been really helpful, Shapley said. The team, to the best of my knowledge, never saw that FD 1023 document. Well, of course, man. Why would the FBI and the IRS exchange information? Why would they want to do that? The informant file was created after the FBI found an earlier reference to malfeasance in a 2017 report from the same informant, according to members of Congress involved in the oversight investigations. It's unclear what exactly the alleged payments would have been made by Burisma, which first added Hunter Biden to its board in April of 2014 as his dad assumed control of the Obama administration's Ukraine policy. Burisma paid Hunter up to $1 million per year through 2019, apart from alleged bribes. Oh yeah, no, all the above table money, that's totally fine because of his expertise are definitely on point. Grassley, a Republican from Ohio and a badass dude, was released. Who released a redacted version of the 4-page document, asked in a statement, what did the Justice Department and the FBI do with the detailed information in the document, and why have they tried to conceal it from Congress and the American people for so long? Ooh, I've got an idea. It's because the Democrats play by a different set of rules. The allegations have been subject to intense political focus since they first described publicly, and Republican members of Congress have floated impeaching the president in support of evidence is found. Yeah, but Republicans are just going to talk a tough game and then just use it as a campaign issue. Oh, if you vote for us again in 2024, we'll go after Biden. Oh yeah, make sure. Yeah, okay, we'll definitely do that, guys. Meanwhile, the only person that is major political party relevant in the 21st century is being hung out to dry by the department, or the Justice Department, but you don't want to do a goddamn thing about that now, would you? FBI Director Chris Wray allowed members of the House Oversight Committee to read the document last month, with the Bureau initially refused, sparking a brief push by the panel chairman, James Comer, to hold Wray in contempt, which resulted in the FBI agreeing to allow legislatures to read the file in a secure room at the Capitol. I don't know how many more days of these congressional oversight hearings are going to happen in regards to Hunter Biden, but if we're going to be getting more bombshell releases like this, I'll be very interested, but I'll be more interested to see if the Republicans are going to find their teeth, put them in their mouth, and actually do something about it, because as important as all this information is, it will be absolutely nothing if there's no follow-up on it. So act like a Democrat for once and follow through on your threats. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.